Welcome to the ASX review for this Friday, the 31st of January 2020. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so this week the XJO was down 1.03% to close at 7,017.2 points, down about 73 points in all. 67 stocks up, 131 down, and 2 stocks remain unchanged. Let's take a look at the gainers. The top 5 gainers for this week. The top one there is Link. Went from $6.29 to $6.81, up 8.27%. Credit Corp had a good week, up 7.39%. RMD, that's ResMed, up 6.14%. TPM, which is TPG Telecom, up 5.65%. And SAR, which is Saracen, up 5.61% to close at 3.95. Sorry, little dog's playing behind me. Let's take a quick look at what sent the Link share price up and flying. The ASX listed financial services conglomerate Link Administrative Holdings has bought Pepper Group's financial services business for €165 million or $266 million to take advantage of the firm's bad debt portfolios in Southern Europe. It goes on to talk a bit about it there with a very happy looking CEO, I think that is. Can't remember his name. It says down there, investors were impressed with the deal. The stock climbed 10% to $6.85 on Friday, clawing back some of the losses from the company's shock earnings downgrade last May that sent shares down 26% in 2 days. It has been a pretty poor performer, Link, over the last year. But the market seemed happy with this purchase. Old Pepper Group, I used to deal with Pepper when I was a mortgage broker. Not very often, fortunately, because they're generally looking for clients that I was generally not looking for, to put it nicely. So Link had a very good week. The other one that had a good week was Credit Corp, and this is a company that I have been watching but never bought. I think they went down to about $13, maybe it was a couple of years ago now. They had a really bad day, a really volatile day. I actually did a video about it back then. And I think they went down to about 13, roughly from memory. But they're back up over $35 now, and they're flying. It says here, brokers suggest Credit Corp's full-year guidance is achievable, and growth estimates may even be conservative, given successful expansion in the US and the acquisition of Baycorp. And yeah, so basically the brokers liked the earnings guidance that come out. They think it's conservative. If it's good and they think it's conservative, that's what gets brokers really excited. If they think there's actually, they're good numbers and there's upside to those numbers, that's when share prices can go up a lot. And Credit Corp has been having a massive run. I should have put the chart to have a look at it. I forgot to do that. But anyway, Credit Corp, one to take a look at yourself. They're going very well. Okay, so that is a bit of news for the gainers this week. Let's take a look at the top 5 losers. And there's some very interesting stocks here. Nearmaps. They have been a very volatile stock is, I guess, the way to describe them. They're on the top 5 winners and losers regularly. Up and down like a horse draws, old Nearmaps. Down 33% this week. Treasury Wines, I forgot to have a look why that happened. Perhaps it's to do with the old coronavirus in China. Obviously a big market is China for Treasury Wines, and they had a bad week, down 26.38%. That's a very bad week, down 26.38%. Webjet there, down 18.18%. Another stock that's been doing well, PLS, Pilbara, they're the lithium play, but they had a bad week, down 18.06%. And CTD, which is corporate travel, down to $17.81, down 11.79%. So there's some big losers there this week. Those two up the top there, I'm going to take a closer look at them over the weekend. Nearmaps and Treasury Wines, and actually maybe even Webjet as well, just to see what's behind them, what's behind those big losses, and whether there is some potential upside and whether they're buyers at these levels. yeah, definitely, if you have time this weekend, just take a look at those 3 stocks and see if you find any nuggets of gold in the carnage. Actually, so this is a bit of the news on near maps and why it has fallen so far this week. Aerial imaging company Nearmap has slipped out of the $1 billion market cap club, suffering a 24% share price fall in morning trade on Thursday after lowering its full-year guidance. On Thursday, it lowered its estimates for annualized contract values for the 2020 financial year to between 102 million and 110 million, down from its previous range of 116 and 120. The downgrade was a cause for celebration for the 12% of its register which had shorted the stock as of Wednesday last week. Yes, so it did have a lot of shorters, so there's a lot of people out there that don't believe in near maps, and they will be celebrating on the week that it's had. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at what CommSec have there for their investor signposts in the coming week. There's a fair bit of activity and some good stuff coming up this week to drive the market. The things that interest me, I always like to look at how the real estate market is going. The CoreLogic Home Value Index for January. See if little old Perth is starting to turn it around. The market's been poor here since 2014. It's been 6 really, really bad years. So yeah, anytime it wants to turn around and just level out would be nice. But we'll see what happens in this month with CoreLogic Home Value Index coming out on Monday. Also on Monday, the ANZ job advertisements, just to see if there's any strength there. On Tuesday, obviously, is the first Tuesday of the month, so the Reserve Bank will be meeting and we'll get word on interest rates. What else have we got on Thursday? Retail trade figures, and that will be interesting as well. I assume we'll see what happened over Christmas in the retail trade sector, and the market may take some sort of impetus from that news on Thursday. So there we go, guys. It was a fascinating week. I found some big swings in the market this week. Obviously, this coronavirus that's going around, like a lot of things. I don't know if it's the media that beats it up or if it's just human nature. Well, when you look at in context how many people have died in the world from this virus, I think we're talking in the tens, a few dozen, maybe 100 people have died from the coronavirus. And you put that into context with all the other diseases, including the influenza virus, which probably kills 1 million people a year around the world. So this coronavirus thus far is insignificant compared to all the other diseases out there. So all the other viruses, I should say. So, but the market and the whole world in general gets excited by these things. I personally think it'll just be another thing that passes. But one day I'm going to be wrong on these things. They're all going to be wiped out, I'm sure. But yeah, it's like humans have to sort of just latch onto a bit of bad news. It just seems to be what we just yearn for. And as a rule, I just try to ignore it because 99 times out of 100, they're media beat-ups. And I get the feeling that this will just be another thing that comes and goes. Just another little blip on the radar. But we'll wait and see on that. I hope I'm right. Actually, one other thing I was going to mention. I went to a cardiologist. Actually, it was late last year. I went and had a test on my old ticker just to see how it's all going. And all good, except my blood pressure was really high. So I went to see the actual cardiologist probably about 2 weeks ago now, and he told me the best thing I can do for myself to lower the blood pressure is to give up alcohol. So as of that day, I have. So the last 11 days I have been completely sober. I don't consider myself an alcoholic these days, at least. But I do, I have probably been drinking too much. A couple of ports at night have sort of extended into 3 or 4, maybe a beer afterwards as well. These last couple of months, over the Christmas period and that, I got a bit carried away. So, I've gone from that to not having a drink for the last 11 days, and I'm actually finding it quite easy. And I'm just going to see, over the next month or so whether my blood pressure does improve from giving up alcohol. I'd be interested to know if any of you guys have similar issues with your blood pressure, and anything that you may have done to get on top of it. It's unfortunately it's a hereditary thing in my family. My dad, he always had high blood pressure, and he passed away from a heart attack at age 69 back in 2008. And two of my brothers are on medication as well. So yeah, and they're fit. They're really fitter than me. So yeah, I don't know what to do about it. But anyway, I've given up the old juice and see how we go with that. Okay, guys, we'll leave it there. I got this video out on Friday, so I'm pretty proud of myself. It's been another busy day, busy week in my life. But yeah, I'm just happy that I sat down and did this vid on the Friday. I'll get it uploaded now, and have a great weekend. And I think next week there's plenty of stuff around that's going to be driving the market in both directions. So it looks very tradable at the moment, the market, and yeah, February it could go either way. Very, very exciting sitting back and watching the market at the moment. Yeah, for me it is anyway. No worries, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will talk to you next week.